Welcome to the Python programming course by Ignis Technologies. In this movie, we are going to talk about the lists. Lists are really the powerful thing and one of the most favorite thing for any Python programmer out there. Let me just quickly make a copy of this string so that we can change it to the name of lists.lists1.py, and I'm going to open up that file and let's close this string. Now, lists are really the one of the most favorite things for Python programmer, and lists are the most versatile of Python's compound data type. Now, no need to just get confused with the list. Just assume that as a special type of array, but in the typical languages, arrays should have the same type of elements in it, but Python gives you the flexibility that in this array you can have objects of multiple types like integers and strings and all of the mixture of that. So let's quickly have a list, and I'm going to just call it as L for the sake of simplicity because I don't want to type much. That's the only reason. And how you define the list is just put an equal sign, and inside the square brackets the list is being assumed out here, and you have to just separate everything by a simple comma. So let's say in this case I want to just give Ignis, this is the first element. Second element I want to be number, so I can give 1 to 3. Then third element, again I want to have some float, so I can also have 123.123. And the third element, again you want to have a string, so you can have a string, let's say IT. So that's it, you have successfully declared a list out here. And let me perform a couple of operations on the list, and these are also very simple one. You can simply have a list, and simply by printing L, I'm going to save it. And likewise in the string you can perform some operations onto the strings on the list as well. So I'm just going to copy it, paste it here, and I want this time the first element of our list. So you got it right. You can do that simply by this statement. Likewise, you can get the first statement, second statement, or third one. We have already discussed how the slicing works, and the same slicing works in the lists as well. And you can also have the same statement which we have discussed in the previous movie. And to get your confusion out, you can have this one. And you can also do a couple of variety of things with the lists as well, like multiplying the list number of times. Let me just say 3 times. And you can also append to lists. So let me just create one more list out here. I'm going to name it as, let's just say ABX. This is going to be any random name here, and I'm going to create a very small list which contains, let's say, ITU. I'm just putting out any numbers and any names. No need for relevating it with anything. And now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to tie up the two lists, and I'm going to just say print L plus my ABX list. That's simply how we can do it. Let me just save it, run it using Python run, and let's analyze what's the output here is. First of all, we are just printing out the list, so you can see without any hesitation it has printed out. Now these square brackets are happening around only in the Eclipse. When you will work on with the idle, the square brackets will disappear, and when you will take the output onto the screen, these brackets won't be appearing. In the second, we are just printing out the first element, which is Ignis. In the third, we are just slicing out the output from the list, so is the fourth one. And then we have got multiply by 3, so you can see we have got a long list multiplied by 3. And in the final output, we are just printing the output from the two lists and combining the two lists. So you can see these are now a single list out here in this case. So that's pretty much a quick look onto the lists, and no need to worry about. We are going to take all of these things later into a much depth.